See if we can't focus here.
There
we go. Hey y'all, so I'm Daniel, and I'm a designer and engineer here at Leap Motion.
Hi, I'm Wilbur. I'm a software engineer and Unity developer here at Leap Motion.
So today we want to share with you all a bit more about building virtual reality applications with Unity. And in the past we've kind of been doing some more tutorial style things, but we had some folks talking about wanting to see how to put together UIs and how to put together kind of larger, kind of full applications. And so what we wanted to do is today we want to actually sit down and build a simple application. It's going to be very UI driven, so you can see how to use the VR widgets that just got released from Wilbur's team. And you'll be able to see kind of how, in a very basic sense, we put together an application from start to finish. So we're going to start by kind of sketching out our UI, then we're going to go implement the scene, and then we're going to hook up all of the different UI pieces. So hopefully this will be pretty cool. If you have any questions, we've got some folks watching the chat who are going to yell questions over to us. So if there's anything coming up, let us know, and hope you enjoy it. So to start off, I think what we were talking about building is doing a bit of a, let me see if I can tilt this down here. I don't know if you all can see this too well, but we were talking about building a bit of a, like an artillery game. So kind of in the style of like where like in Worms or Angry Birds you might, and this is gonna be a little upside down for you, but like in Worms or Angry Birds you might you might like shoot a projectile and try and knock something down or hit something. And we want to focus on, we've had a lot of people asking about UI, so we want to focus on doing this with a bunch of UI elements. So what we're talking about is, let me see if I can, it's really out of focus. All right, I'm going to draw this and then I'm going to, there we go. I think that's better. Yeah, so what we were talking about is maybe doing a UI with a couple of sliders to set the strength of your shot and your angle. So we could do something like this. And then we'll have a button in VR to fire your shot. And then we'll do probably something in perspective because we're in VR, so we should do something in perspective with like a little cannon. And we'll just do some blocks down at the end of the scene. Keeping it simple because we only got an hour here to kind of show how to do all of this. And this is a horrible, horrible drawing, but it gets the point across.
It focuses.
Yeah, this camera, we really need to get a better camera. Well, it's a little hard to see. Oh well, straight in.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. So you can kind of see we're gonna show how to build out this UI with like our little sliders and yeah, the focus is problematic. So yeah, we're gonna add our two little sliders from Wilbur's widgets, and then we're gonna add a fire button, and we'll be able to rotate and fire our cannon, fire a little projectile, something like that. So that's something we can probably sit down and build out really quickly in an hour. So to get started here, let's switch over to Unity. And basically what we have here is we've got a new Unity project. We're in Unity Pro, but you can totally do this in Unity Free. And we've imported two sets of assets. Or did we just import the
so we
VR widgets?
Yeah, we imported both the Leap Motion VR assets, and we also imported Leap Motion VR widgets assets, which is now released in the example gallery.
So if you want to go grab these, where you can go is, let me grab the mouse here. You can go to developer.leapmotion.com, and to get the VR assets, you go to Downloads and then Unity C#. And if you scroll down, you can get the Unity Pro or Unity Free. Only with Windows right now. We're working on a Mac fix to get the VR widget set up. And then for
the VR widgets, you can find it under Unity C# under examples.
Unity C#, and there's these VR widgets. And if you want to go grab the source for those, you can just go to this GitHub link.
Mhm.
And we've just imported those into a new project, and we're basically starting from scratch here. So to get going, let's first go grab, so I want this to be a VR project, so I'm going to go Leap Motion plus OVR and grab this OVR player controller and drag that into the scene. I'm just going to zero that out. There we go. Move that back a little bit. Does this one have the gravity disabled?
Oh, you have to disable it right here. Yeah.
So gravity modifier, set that to 0. Cool. Okay, and then I want to set up a little scene here. So I'm just going to create a ground plane. Prefer to have the game view over here while I'm working. Let's actually, what do you figure we can do? Like kind of a three-quarters view for the.
Oopsies.
We do like a little three-quarters view here. That'll be good to start off with. And then I'm going to go game object, create other, and cube. And I just want to build a quick little base for our cannon. Move that into place. I call that cannon. All right, so we've got that, and then obviously we need a cannon tube. Create a cylinder. Usually if this were a production application, I'd be doing all of this in Maya and then importing everything, but for the purposes of just kind of showing how to build a quick app, this is more than enough. Copy this over. Let's do a little. Okay, so
I can make them. Oh, I can make them a group.
Yep. Well, sort of. I want to put the I want the base of the rotation to just be that base game object, so that when I grab the group,
Gotcha.
I can.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. All right, so we've got our little tube, and I'm going to make that a child of the. Okay, no, I'm not. I forgot about that little issue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create an empty game object to act as the basis here, and make both of those children of that. And there's actually another. I should call that cannon. And then here's a cool little trick that I like. We're going to have to spawn cannonballs at a point, and rather than having to calculate exactly where that point is in 3D space and the vector away from our game object, what I can do is I can go in here and create an empty game object, and I'm going to call this projectile spawn point, and I can go make it a child of the cannon. Actually, I'll make it a child of the tube, and move it up into position exactly where I want to spawn those projectiles. This is a fun
It might
trick.
be easy to zero out too, maybe, and then drag it back up.
That's a good call.
Oh, that works too.
Perfect. Wow. And so what we've got is it has the exact correct z vector for the direction that we're going to want to spawn from, and then it's got the correct position. And so all we have to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to set this to have a little marker in space, just so I can see where it is. And so now in my script, I'm going to be able to just use that point and use its direction to be able to tell exactly where to spawn my cannon. And all I have to do is rotate the tube. So that'll be really nice. And then we want to create a little level for us to destroy. So I'll do game object create other. Cube. I'm going to want to add a rigid body to it. And if I was making a full game like this, I would probably make a bunch of these pieces, and I would, give them all nice different textures and different colors and such. But for now, we're just going to have, so it's a rigid body with mass 10, Let's call this a target. And I want to make this a prefab, so I'll go add my target prefab. This is so, like, say if we want to change the mass of all of our cubes at one time, it's a whole lot easier. I'll just copy paste this a few times. Throw these up here. Cool, so we've got that. Things are looking a little flat in our game view. Let's add a directional light real quick just so that we can actually see things. Drop the intensity down a little bit. I have Unity Pro here so I can add shadows, which is nice. Rotate those. Those will at least a little interesting. Our targets are a little above the ground, so let's bring those down. No rigid bodies or anything on any of these, so those won't move with our physics engine, which is nice. So we've got our little scene here. The last thing we need to create before we can start scripting is our projectile. So I'm going to make a cube. I'm going to add a rigid body. And if you're not familiar with Unity's physics, once I add the rigid body is really the thing that the physics engine is caring about and looking at any one time. And so I'll make this pretty heavy. I'll make this like massive 20.
Should we make a sphere instead? Do you think it matters?
I don't know if it matters, but sure, let's do it. It's a little more accurate to form. Where's the delete button on here? Mac is my primary development platform, so everything's a little, yeah, sphere's a lot better. So we'll add a rigid body. And so the rigid body has all those physical properties, so like angular drag, and let's add like a little bit of drag. Make this heavier than any of our blocks so we really blow things away when we hit it. And then let's create a new material here. So I'll do create material, projectile material. And I just want to make our, let's actually just make a proper cannonball here. And let's go to our sphere and let's call this projectile. And then we'll make it a prefab so that we can instantiate it easily. Should we add a little particle trail?
Sure.
I think we have time for that.
That'd be cool.
Okay, so just for the sake, yeah, let's create a new particle system, and I'm going to parent it to the projectile, and then I'm going to rotate it so that it's facing backwards from where the projectile would usually go.
Oh, it was backwards.
So it'll, right? And so then I'm going to switch the simulation space to world so that it leaves a trail as it goes. I'm going to go to emission, and I'm going to up the rate. And then I'm going to go to shape.
Decrease radius. Yeah, there.
Yeah. I'm going to decrease the radius a bit, and I'm going to decrease the angle a bit. I love the shuriken particle system is really a lot of fun. Then I'm going to go back up here and set the start speed, or sorry, the start size to a little bit smaller. And then, so here's a trick I really love. I'm going to go to color over lifetime. I'm going to select the gradient editor here. And so first I'm going to set my colors. So we're going to start with like a light blue flame. And then it's going to go down a little bit and become like a bright yellow. And then an orange. And then a deep red. Whoa. Let me back my color picker the way I want it. There we go. And then we'll do like a deep red, and then it'll go to black smoke. And obviously you could go in here and do a lot more to like change the shape and change everything. And then the really nice thing about, yeah, where's my, oh, there it is. The really nice thing about this color over time is that I can set the alpha so that they nicely fade out, as you can see, as they go.
Should we make this small?
Should probably make the lifetime a little shorter. Start lifetime, there we go. So bring that in a little bit. So now we'll have a nice little particle trail on our system here. So that should be fun. So I'll hit apply to add that to the prefab. and then we can delete that from the scene. Cool, so we've got our little scene and we've got all of that set up. So what I want to do is I'm going to script this so that I can just set up everything with keyboard commands. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass it over to Wilbur, and he's going to hook up all of the LeapMotion widget stuff. So you can kind of see how you can take a project that maybe you've already started to work with and then add LeapMotion to it really easily. And it's going to use all the same code across the board, so it should be pretty easy to work with. So, oh wow, what did I do? Oh, that was weird. Works on my computer. And before I do any of that, I'm going to save this scene. Here we go. Okay, cool. So let's jump into MonoDevelop. How do we want to do this?
Maybe I would for you guys to work. I was thinking about if you have like a public function I can call, for example, fire cannonball,
and you can just
call that,
and you can just get a reference to that.
Yeah.
So I'll just put all of the properties on the tube itself. So we'll just modify that game object directly. So I'll just say Canon Manager.
Yeah, sure.
Canon Behavior. I like that naming convention a little better. I'm going to switch over to C#. And to MonoDevelop we go.
May I have double click it? I'm not sure.
To MonoDevelop we go. What?
Is it not installed?
Does Mono not?
Okay. Notepad we go.
No, that's not happening.
Sync Mono project. Oh wow.
Okay, wait. Little technical difficulty here. Let's see. MonoDevelop. I don't think MonoDevelop ended up on this computer.
No,
I'm not sure how that could have happened, but let's grab it. We can do a few other things while we're waiting for this to download, so not a big deal. MonoDevelop installer. Cool. Sorry about that. That's you. This is our streaming computer, and I could have sworn
yeah,
we had Mono set up on here, but
it's very strange.
oh, really? Come on. That didn't work. Give us 1 second here.
I am so close to saying we should use Nomad++.
I mean, sure.
Okay, let's just do that.
Do we have it on here?
No, but we can download Nomad++.
Okay.
And that would just work.
Oh, the
We're
joys of
sorry,
development.
guys.
Sorry? So Unity Free, we right now if you're using the VR asset, it only works on Windows. LeapMotion in general supports Mac and Windows.
Yeah.
The Unity assets are good across the board. But there's currently, I'm not sure totally, do you know what the bug is on the Windows side?
The bug is Unity now, so Unity Free does not, one of the main differences between Unity Pro and Free is the support for plugins. Now, Unity Free does not support plugins. However, they made a special exception for Oculus to work in Unity Free, but that creates a really weird problem where it will only allow Oculus plugins. And right now, we haven't figured out a way to make Unity Free read the LeapMotion plugins with the Oculus plugins at the same time. Windows work. Mac, right now we are still working on finding a solution, getting that working.
All right, so I've got Sublime. And you know how to switch this over to the default editor being Sublime, right?
Yep.
Okay, because I don't.
Okay, go to Edit,
All right.
Preferences,
Where
modules.
am I?
Modules, select all, Preferences, yeah.
Ah.
And then External Tools, right there, Browse, and yet just go to Sublime.
Okay. This PC, C:\/ program files.
Where's mine?
There we go. Sublime Text 2, Sublime Text.
Awesome.
Cool.
And
Is that it?
Yep.
Awesome. So,
double click and that should work.
yay! Woohoo! All right, we're good.
Okay.
That's weird. I've never seen a Unity install that didn't properly bring over Sublime. So,
And monodevelop.
or sorry, that didn't bring over monodevelop. But it's just Sublime text. I swear I have a registered version. I have a real version. We're just using this real quick. Okay, cool. So I'm not going to get any of my code completion, which is really exciting.
I know.
But okay, cool. So where were we? So we need to set up some functions. Thank you, sir.
He's gonna.
There we go. That's awesome. Wilbur knows his PC far better than I do. Okay, cool. So we need to set up a couple of functions here. We need the ability to rotate the cannon. We need the ability to set its power, and then we need the ability to fire. Let's set up a few things here. We're going to set up. I guess really we can just do two. We can just do a function that asks us to rotate, or we could.
Yeah.
We should probably do a set rotation so that we can say we only set within a certain within some certain parameters. So I'm going to go public void.
So if you want to make this easier for the UI portion, the slider can fetch you a percentage of between 0 to 1. You can do your own calculations on that side, or you can do a calculation on the object.
And then we'll say, yeah, so let's set up some bounds. So I'll say private, let's say private float, min angle. Actually, let's do min angle mod, and then we'll use we'll have the base angle.
Okay.
So we'll say min angle mod. We'll say.
Oh, should be public and private? I don't know. It's up to you.
I usually do the private and then serialize the field. Just it feels like good practice.
Fair enough.
Speaking of good practice, if I'm going to be pedantic enough to do that, let me do this. Max angle mod, and so here we're just setting up our just kind of the basic configs for the project. This is pretty common, especially if you're working with designers who aren't technical and want to be able to get into Unity. This is a really good practice. This computer keeps clicking, and it's like phantom clicking. Serialize field.
Damn it.
Why not just use a Mac? It just works. Okay, cool. So we'll say, actually we can just do clamp. So we can mathf.clamp. And we'll say angle. We're going to clamp the angle, and the minimum is going to be m min angle mod and m max angle mod. And then we'll say, oh yeah, so we should probably store a base angle. So we'll say private float base angle. And then we will say base angle equals, underscore base angle. Sorry?
No, go on.
Good? Yeah. M underscore base angle equals, and then we'll say transform dot rotation dot, I'm always going to misspell it, I think it's dot Euler, or Euler, sorry.
I think Euler angles.
Is it Euler angles? Because I never remember, because one of them is to, I think it's capitalized. This is where I wish I had my code completion. And then I want the rotation about the x-axis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You may want local rotation.
That's a good call. I definitely want local rotation.
I keep waiting for the computer to tell you what it is.
Yeah, me too. We'll get there. What's going to happen is Unity is going to tell me where I'm wrong. Okay, cool.
How much syntax do you know of Unity?
Yeah, I'm used to having my autocomplete, so I'm gonna get like a few like function calls that are different that are actually properties and things like that, but we'll live. And then we'll say here, so if the angle is within the range, we're gonna say
Transform dot.
Well, we can't set it directly, if I recall. So I think we have to create a vector, a temp vector 3.
You kind of can.
Oh yeah, because we can just create the new quaternion.
Yeah. Location equals.
What is our current? Is our current rotation? Is our current local rotation?
Oh my God! There's no errors.
yet. I haven't saved. I haven't saved. Let's see. There we go. Group where a variable type was expected. Expression A denotes method group. What is that? Line 15.
Okay, remember to consult.
No overload method for Euler takes.
Okay, we need to check for.
Yeah, we'll have to check that one. Okay, well, in the meantime, let's get this right here. So let's look at this. So the rotation here, the base rotation for that. All right, I'm gonna be a little verbose here, but this is vector 3, current rotation, or no, we'll say. What's the best way to go here? Base angle is going to be that, so we'll say quaternion new rotation equals, and we'll say transform dot rotation, and then we'll say new rotation. Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's do, pardon me, vector 3 dot Euler angles. And then we'll say new rotation dot x equals base angle plus angle.
You may want local rotation. Just
You're quite right. And really, I should save this to angle equals. New rotation x equals base angle plus rotation. X equals base angle plus that, and then we will say transform dot dot local rotation equals quaternion
I see.
dot Euler.
I see.
And we'll just pass it new rotation. I suspect this is a little more verbose than it has to be.
I think. Do you think are you trying to do base angle plus angle and you constrain it within minimax?
Yes. Well, no, min and max, I was like, base angle is the initial, so like we can say min is like how much can we deviate down and max is how much can we deviate up from base angle. So I figured we would say like the minimum.
So you're gonna allow it to go a 360 if you want to.
So if we set that, then it would if we set like 0 and 360 or something like that, we could allow that.
So let's see what the overall goal of the app is going to be.
Oh, sorry. So the overall goal here is we're building a little artillery game where we're going to be able to use some the Leap Motion widgets to set up with like a VR UI to set the angle of this little cannon and the strength of the shot, and then hit a fire button and go boom, and take out a bunch of horrible enemy blocks. But we had a lot of folks asking about kind of how do you integrate this with a larger application and how do you do UI, and this seemed like a good example of how to set all that sort of thing up. So we're just setting up the scene right now, and then we're going to integrate all the widget stuff as soon as we have this. So about halfway through here, which I think we're making okay time. Wish we had a belt that might slow us down a little more than I had expected. But so
I guess fire. That's two functions we need, right?
Yeah.
It's a rotation of fire.
Public void fire. Well, we're gonna have to do set rotation. We're also gonna have to say set strength.
Let's assume it's static for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for the sake of time.
Yeah, because I didn't expect the model to not work.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, so we're going to say we're going to need a reference to our projectile prefab. So I'll just say, so making this public makes sense. Public game object projectile prefab. And then we're also going to need a reference to the projectile launch point. So we're also going to say public game object. Cool. So we'll instantiate. Is that spelled right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to say m projectile prefab, and I believe then I can pass it its position, and I'm going to say m projectile launch point dot transform dot position,
And rotation afterwards.
and in this case I'll just say quaternion dot identity. I think that should be fine. So that's just quaternion dot identity is just no rotation whatsoever. So that will create our prefab. We really want to game object new projectile, and then I'm going to have to cast that to a game object. Cool. So game object new projectile, blah 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 blah, and then we just need to add a force to it. So that I'm going to have to look up.
I think it's rigid body.
So I need to get a reference to the rigid body.
Yeah, so you have new game object dot rigid body.
So it'd be projectile dot get component.
No, I think dot rigid body would just work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're totally right.
Yeah, and add relative force.
Do you remember what the argument started?
You want to have it in the 4 directions. So you want to.
So we're going to say m projectile launch point dot transform dot forward. I believe will give us what we need, which should give us, because we set up the rotation of that.
We gotta check the relative force. I think the vector 3 is it times and amounts
Oh, right.
because 1 is too small.
Yeah. So times, we'll just set strength as a. Want to get onto the leap stuff here rather quickly. So let's private float strength, and we'll serialize that. Okay, so
Okay, we got open Chrome. We need to check the quaternions if this is my function that's being called. Unity quaternions. So yeah, it's lowercase.
dot Euler angles, and that is in fact a lowercase e, and it is a property. Not in fact a function. So that should fix that. So let's see here. The name m base angle does not exist in the current context on line 21.
Oh.
Yep. That fixes that. Unity Engine MathF does not contain or exist in the current context. Oh, clamp is capitalized. Oh. I don't want to purchase a license now, but I swear I already own one. The name base angle does not exist in the current context. Where did I use base angle?
Double click it.
There it is. It won't double click in.
Oh,
It
really?
won't drop me into Sublime. Quaternion does not include a definition for identity. Really? Pretty sure it does.
Maybe lowercase I.
Yeah, you're almost certainly right. This is why I love pair programming. Woohoo! Identity. Solves that. And rigid body does not contain a definition for add relative force. I think you're right. And then what do you want
Oh
to
my
bet?
God,
Oh
that's
my gosh, it works. It compiles!
Alright.
Okay, cool. So, projectile prefab. Let's give it a projectile. And then we can
We should add prefab back in.
go, projectile prefab. And then our launch point. And I don't even know, let's give it 40, that won't be bad. The min angle mod will be like negative 10, we can go like negative 10 degrees and 10 degrees. It's a little small, let's say 30 degrees up. Negative 20 degrees, that'll give us a range. That'll give us some manner of range, I'm not sure what. Okay, cool. So,
add key listeners. I guess we need to add key listeners in case we use.
well, as we're running a little short, let's go straight to the leap motion stuff.
Okay.
Or sorry, add a key. Were you saying key commands?
Yeah.
Let's go straight to the leap motion, and if it doesn't work, we'll work it out.
Okay.
We'll work it out there. So let's. I'm gonna shift this over to Wilbur, as he is the UI master here.
So we're gonna assume the whole app works without testing it, without
When I test my code, I test in production.
Alright. So what you want to use is you go to Leap Motion VR widgets folder here and open the free prefabs. I'm gonna use the slider demo and the button toggle. Sure, toggle works. It'll work slightly different than the way it's intended to work. It's a toggle button, but we're gonna make it work slightly different.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
For this, I think it makes sense for us to actually have the UI like
Follow
the
right?
camera.
Okay.
Because there's really two ways you could go, right? We could
Yeah.
go with the UI in the world, or we could follow. For this one, I think follow makes sense.
Yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna move everything to the center eye anchor that follows where the eye is. Let's see here. 01, 01. It's hard to see the whole thing. Okay. Distance away is around 0.5.
And so what's driving those numbers for you?
So the reason we found this number because all Unity coordinates are all in meters, and we figured out that the comfortable range is around 40 to 50 centimeters away from you. I chose 0.53 just because that's a sweet number for myself.
Okay.
It's you may find different number for different applications you're using, right? Different application that you're using. But it will be around that range. The number you choose will be very close to 0.5. That's what I've found to be most comfortable.
Nice.
Let's just see if this works. Alright. So as you see, we had successfully made a VR app with very silly widgets and a cannonball game behind it.
But obviously, you could reskin these, and we
Yeah.
could set these up to be.
Yeah, you can reskin this. These are the demos that we built to show you what you can possibly do with it, but these all can be reskinned. I just realized I should probably code these manually, which is kind of unfortunate. Let's see here. Okay. Cool. So I'm just testing it right now. Oh gosh. And this. Okay. This. Okay. So I'm just doing a quick test. As you can see, this is the Oculus here running with the UI over it, and my hand here I can touch the button. I'm just testing it without wearing it on, putting it on, and then I can move the slider.
Is the slider doing something a little bit weird?
Yes, it is. Ooh, that's weird.
Ah!
Yeah. Okay, there's a little. I fixed that one. Is there a collider going on somewhere? Whoa, there's a weird collider going on. Oh, gosh. The flicker is so annoying.
Can you speak at all about your experience with
Yeah, I mean, I'm following this a little in the chat. So if you're running Unity Free right now and you're kind of an independent developer, or you're a new developer, Unity Free it can get you a long ways. In my experience, I would say use Unity Free until you either hit a major wall that you can't get around without moving over to Pro, or until you're ready to like actually ship your game to the world. Like if you're looking at like releasing on the App Store or something like that, you need to go. You don't necessarily have to go Pro, but it's not a bad idea. There's a lot of you can get a lot of nice extra graphical polish. There's a lot of things that it kind of opens up to you. And then it just does, in terms of using plugins, it makes your life a lot easier to be in Pro. But like at home, I use Unity Free. I do all like my little personal projects in Free and like all my learning stuff in Free, and that's fine. And then, but I'm always, whenever I get to my work computer and I have Pro, I definitely breathe a slight sigh of relief.
Wasn't there orientation a lot for
Pro, yeah. No, almost anything we're doing internally here at Leap is we're using Unity Pro. It makes collaboration easier. It makes a lot of, and then it makes a lot of the visual effects we're trying to do easier. If I'm not mistaken, there's some limits on what you can do with custom shaders in Free, and that gets a bit problematic.
Oh yeah, it's making the cannonball.
Oh, we got it
Oh
hooked
my
up.
god, look at that. You guys see the cannonballs? It's kind of hard to see. Let me just maximize this. Okay. So this is, so you see the GUI is, it's a very demo GUI. There's no nice graphics on it. But as you can see, if I can push it, and the cannonball is being spawned. Yeah, I'm trying to show them me testing it. So this is, okay, let's imagine I'm wearing this, and
20-second delay.
20-second delay, yeah. So I'm just trying to mimic as if I'm wearing it and trying to touch it right now. So as you can see, imagine you have an existing game already, and you have like a
what
UI.
have we done?
Okay, so
So obviously we need a little more strength on our projectile. What was going on with the slider?
that might have been an old build. It was something I fixed already, but I'm guessing for this I probably downloaded the wrong Unity package. The old one.
Shoot. Weird. Well, let's see if we can't work through that. Let's bring that back in and see what we're looking at here. Should I go see if we can find some of our VR debugging glasses? make our lives a little easier.
Yeah, let me just
Go see if I can find a pair of those for return momentarily.
So that seems. All right. Well, for now, let's try to make it so the cannons can. Let's try it with a full screen mode. Let's make it executable and see how it looks right now. Let's build it. All right. I'm going to. Give me a second here. I'm going to make a game capture of the game.
Here we go. So we don't have to hold the Oculus up all the time.
Yeah.
And we get to look particularly silly on Twitch.
Oh, wait till you see this, guys. This would be awesome.
These are both the silliest thing I've ever had to wear for a professional job, and one of the most useful.
Is it streaming? Oh, yes.
Looks like it's coming through.
All right. So Flying cannonballs, guys. Look at that. This is my hands. I'm wearing the Oculus, and this is my hands in the scene. I'm pressing the UI button here, and the strength is wrong, but you can see it's firing. That felt pretty good, actually. Okay.
You're getting some more.
Yeah.
All right, so here, to help out a little bit on the debugging
Alright.
side, we're
So-
switching over to, I'll let you plug that in.
Let us show you how we. So one thing is knowing is
Is
how
this
do you
the extender?
yes, extender, yeah. So sometimes developing Leap Motion with the Oculus is not it's kind of hard to switch between your environment, Oculus, Oculus. So what can you do to test if the hands are in the right spot? We use this.
So we've literally gotten a pair of those like 3D glasses, which you can apparently order like 10 of them for $1 a pop, and then taken the 3D glass out and hot glued a Leap Motion to the front of them.
Oh wow, it's very bright.
Yeah, there's no IR filter on this
Yeah, this is
webcam.
this is actually a Leap Motion controller that I have wearing on top of these. I guess the 3D goggles, 3D glasses you get at theaters.
Yep.
Okay, which I should not wear. It's too bright.
Well, I mean, we can, if it helps us work
Yeah.
through this, we should. Let's see if we can't figure out what's up with this this slider.
Oh man, that one is. Let me think.
Could it be because we parented the?
It could be.
Because I was setting something up similar last night, and it all actually worked out perfectly fine. So
With the sliders, right?
yeah, with the sliders.
Okay. Let me try something actually.
So we may have just discovered a new bug.
So, yeah, this may be a bug that I didn't find before. Let me just do this one this way instead. Let me just close this.
You have this saved?
Yeah, same thing. I think the problem is the Unity package is outdated. Yeah, so I see you download the source code. I think that will work. I'll update that soon. The project is in desktop. Should work.
What are you all working on right now, folks in the chat? Like, are any of you working on stuff for the 3D Jam?
So,
While we're working through this.
yeah, sorry.
And if you are building anything, what is it? And what problems are you working through right now? If you win USB 5.0 is out.
Oh, that was it. Oh, wait, I know why. I know what's the problem. It's the stupid player collider.
Aha. Oh, you have colliders interacting with each other.
Yeah. Oh, even with this.
For a
Okay.
game.
This
No
one is a
issues.
lot better. Is Leapman connected?
Oh,
Leap is not connected.
It's the other Leap.
Ah, whoopsies.
It's the 3D glasses Leap Motion.
Yes. Something is buggy about this. No. Okay, we will make do with this. One. Wait. Is it actually not working?
It looks like something.
Okay, I'll fix this. Yeah. Okay, but we can still make it work. It's not. It won't work right
Exactly the way we
exactly
want it.
you want to work, but
Well, thankfully, I don't even have to file a bug report because you're the guy who's going to go fix it.
Yeah,
and
I know.
rebuild, so.
fantastic. Okay, so let's use this to set the rotation. I'm going to go into the slider code and let's see. When I the percentage. Is this one? Where's the percentage? There we go. The percentage. The position, and let's just do debug. Get percent. So right now I'm just double checking that it's the slider works with the bug we have right now. Yeah, so that's the percentage does work to some degree.
That's a strange little bug. I haven't seen that one before.
It's very, very strange. The rotation is off somewhere. That's the issue.
Oh, that's what's happening?
Yeah.
Huh, weird.
It is very
Yeah, I bet you that's because we're parenting it. I bet you
Yeah.
somewhere in the transform
There's
tree is
some-
getting messed up.
Yeah, I will debug and fix this soon enough.
Do we just want to place it in world space for now?
No, that's okay. I mean, it won't feel right the perfect way it is, but I mean, this is a good way to figure out, what's really wrong. So here, same way the way.
So what are we doing here? We're in update
Yeah.
position.
So what I'm doing is the button. I'll just go to the button how I did it. The button had a did it? There you go. The button had
So you give the button a reference to the
yeah,
camera.
I give the button reference to the camera behavior, and when it gets turned on and turned off, I fire it both times. So
Okay.
the button is designed to be a toggle button. It goes on and off, but because this is a simple push button, I just made both on and off toggle to fire.
And so I think if I were doing this in like a in a production environment, probably the way we go about architecting something like this is we'd instead set up the button to fire an event when it was fired, and then we'd hook our cannon up to that event.
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
like that. We're kind of, for the sake of just kind of running through this
Yeah,
quickly,
this is-
we're showing the
hacked together.
yeah. But usually you wouldn't want to have to like hook individual references up to each of your buttons and that sort of thing.
It's all complete.
Yeah. But it only Sublime's autocomplete is based on what's already in the file rather than any reference to the API.
I see.
It gets you so close though.
Wait, is this a rotation? So we can just do. Are there any questions so far about the way this is being used?
No, mostly jokes about prototype code.
Yeah, I know. This is on the spot prototype coding is hilarious. Don't do this. Okay. This can end up well or poorly. We'll soon find out. So we can still fire buttons, but the question is, can I rotate? No, I cannot rotate it. Something's wrong. No.
No reference exception.
Wait, oops, I forgot to assign the cannon to it.
Here's our cannon.
Okay. The rotation, I have a feeling, could be wrong. We'll find out. Oh, look at that!
The range is a little off, but there we go. Nice.
All right, let's make this a little higher here.
Really, what we should probably do is normalize it, and then
Yeah.
and then denormalize it in the. We could send it a 0 to 1 value, and then
Yeah.
denormalize it in the cannon behavior,
Yeah, let's do that.
and that's probably the way to go.
So maybe we should do percent.
Yeah. And then we can use the min and the max to.
So angle equals. What's angle?
Min angle plus.
I was going to do the distance between the two, and then times the percent.
Right. And then you gotta add the min.
Yeah.
Missing a paren there.
Two. Do we need base?
Yeah, we
yeah,
need
we
base.
Okay. Oops. Doesn't exist. Current context.
You change that. So just say float angle equals.
Wait, sorry, where?
Float angle equals.
Oh, right.
Because we know
Yeah, yeah,
now we have to.
Okay. for here, we're just gonna send percentage.
Yeah. Now I don't know if the things we set up as our.
All right, guys. Let's check this out. Let's check this out.
Changes parameter name, code magically works.
Wow. Would you look at that?
Well, that's
No,
a
I don't think we
interesting-
need base because we're always adding on top of base,
Oh.
right?
Well, new rotation equals the base angle plus our modding, our angle modification. So that should work right. No, that because if we don't have base, though, we're just giving it
A pure rotation, right, from the minimax, which is okay. I
Oh,
don't
that'll
think-
work.
I don't
Sure.
think
Yeah, we can set it up. We can set it up to work that way.
I know why. The percentage, I believe. What's the percentage? Let's see.
Let's debug log that out.
I'm scared it actually might be from 0 to 100 and not in
Oh,
0
well,
to 1.
I think that's probably what's happening. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's just divide all that by 100. Percent equals percent.
Oh gosh. This.
There we go.
Okay.
So that should give us a little nicer. Okay. So now we need if we put base angle
Right
back,
now we need. Right. I see.
or if we just change our input angles.
Awesome.
Yeah, some people are saying it's fun that we're running into the same sorts of problems. I'm convinced that every single developer runs into
Look at that.
runs into these sorts of problems.
Woohoo! Smoothing.
That's awesome.
And okay, the strength's got to be higher.
Yes. Oh God.
Okay, is that maybe too high?
Rigid body block death is coming. Oh, all right. So angle it down a little. It's weird that they.
Oh, that is really weird.
The first shot was really. Oh, I think I know what it is.
What is it?
Or I have a guess. Delete the. Delete the colliders on the tube, on the cannon tube.
Oh.
I bet you those colliders are causing issues.
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this.
I think we're spawning that object. It's probably a little too close, and then it's probably getting in the way.
Yeah. Okay, let's try this again. Nope, that was not the problem. Something else is the problem.
Maybe we're spawning multiple.
We can just set a velocity. I mean, it won't be forced anymore, but.
Okay, we want to talk about real hacks.
Where's the end key on this? God darn it! Okay, just line, charge, dot.
Neither of
Range.
Oh, we
What?
could add an explosive force. I
Oh,
usually use that with
good.
grenades, but okay. How much? We're
Okay,
We're
we're
really
really.
Can we run over time a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. I've never done explosive force before. don't
So
I?
what we should do
Okay.
is, if we can, I don't know if we have time for this. What I was gonna say is, on impact with the ground, we should add an explosive force.
Oh. Oh, I see.
But we'd have to write the detection for the two colliders hitting.
Right.
We might have to leave explosive force up as a
Then,
is it a exercise for the viewer?
Yeah, we're just gonna show you the final build. I think we're ending soon, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap pretty soon.
Okay. We're just gonna show you
Command
the.
for the cannon to shoot cubes. That's easy. We can switch that. That
Make it
we
shoot
can
cubes.
do. Yeah, we can just switch the prefab over real quick. That's easy enough.
Sure. Let's make it shoot cubes.
All right. I had the consideration of doing this all with Flappy Bird assets, but I didn't have time to quite get everything together. Okay, yeah, it is the if transformed opposition OY is less than radius. Yes, that's true. It is relatively quick.
Yes.
But we're getting the wrap it up signal here, so we're gonna have to switch over pretty soon here.
Wait, isn't it? I think it's the mass. Could it be? I don't know.
Oh, get rid of the drag I added.
No way, 0 point. No way, I get 1,000. Oh, it actually helped a lot. Wait, would it help?
What's happening?
Whoa, what's this? Oh, it's upside down? Wait, where does side go? Oh, there's so many bugs. So many bugs. No, that didn't fix it.
That didn't fix it.
Okay.
Oh well.
I just make a final build and just see it full screen.
And, well, no. We got to switch it over to cubes. We
You got the cubes? Okay, got it.
We have the cubes. We got to do cubes, or at least the last thing.
Okay. Okay. Cubes.
Rigid body.
Okay, just keep it
We
same.
just default it.
Yeah. And project material. Let's.
And then you just drag that in there, and then cannon tube. Yeah, that's it. Just drag it over to the projectile prefab. I love Unity.
I know.
Makes
awesome.
life so easy.
Let's move that out of the way. What does the cube look like, anyways? Let me just double check. Okay.
Oh.
That's pretty big.
Well, this will be interesting. Minesweeper with haptic. Thunk. 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 Thunk.
That's pretty good. That's some drag. There's too much drag.
Okay.
Okay. Alright. Alright, this should be good. Oh, the too low mass. Okay, anyways, that's
Alright.
executable.
So,
Show you full screen, and then that might be it. Okay. Let me just turn to the game.
also we demand destructible terrain, multiple warheads and enemies. Actually, just make scorched earth.
Yeah.
Mm,
Okay, do you see it? Let's see. The particle system is flying. Wait, what is that? I have
I don't
no idea.
Oh, I think the particle system
But,
is not attached at the right point in the prefab.
So I'm turning the cannon here, and then pressing a button to fire. Alright.
Okay, so that's building a small application from start to finish. Start to finish.
Start to finish.
But hopefully that was entertaining and a bit informative, at least about kind of how to hook all this stuff up and put these projects together. Just some things to let you all know about. We're doing an open Q&A session for just general information about Leap Motion development, VR development, any of that at, I believe, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's going to be with a few other engineers from across our company. And so if you have any questions or anything you want answered about Leap Motion or anything like that, definitely jump on. That'll all be on Twitch on the same channel. And then we're going to be doing probably more video and more Twitch stuff in the coming weeks. We haven't quite figured out exactly what it looks like, but if there's things you want to see, things you want, if you like this and want more of this, if you want more of the tutorial stuff we were doing before, let us know, and we'll kind of tailor this content to what you all want to see. Yeah, that is 7:30 p.m. EST. I'm not sure about all my time zone changes, so you'll have to handle your individual time zone. We're at GMT -8 here in the Pacific time zone.
And we'll make sure to get better webcams.
And we'll get that set up. So thanks you all for watching. Definitely send us feedback either on Twitter or community.leapmotion.com. And good luck with all of your projects, and have a good one. Cheers.
Cheers.